Hey, home stranger here. Head out on one of my favorite trails, the Grafton Loop. I was just here a few weeks ago, post-holing in the snow, up to Sunday River. I was very unhappy I had to go home that day. I really like this trail, so decided to come back. Get a few days of good weather, maybe some rain at the end, take my chances. A little road walk to start. I'm gonna do this west side first this year. Last year I went the other way. Going both ways all the way around and part of the way around. Curious to see if I like it this way or not. The last few years I've been going the other way and I really like it. But I'm wondering if I've just gotten smarter and better. And so it seems easier now. So I want to go back and do the way that seemed really hard and see how that feels. But got a lot of traffic here on the highway. We'll shut this off, turn it back on when it gets pretty out in the woods. I didn't want to scare those poor naked people. Sorry I couldn't show you more of the view of them or the water, but it's pretty early in the day for skinny dipping by my pocket. But sure is beautiful out here. You never know what you'll see. But still, I wasn't expecting skinny dippers at 10 in the morning. Well, if you saw the video of what this looked like a couple weeks ago, you can see the leaves have really popped out. We've gone from spring to summer. So there'll be a lot more shade in the forest, which is good as it warms up. It's also going to be really windy today up top, so that should be exciting. We'll see what that is like. Here, maybe 30-mile-an-hour winds up there. This is nice in here. Much cooler once you get out of the sun. Get even better as we climb, unless I get sweaty. Had a good storm roll through here yesterday. Hopefully they got some rain up here. We got some at home. It's been pretty dry, so but that rain perked up the water supplies. Just a little climbing to do, a few thousand feet today. We'll see how far we get. Open for maybe Slide or Bull Branch on the other side of Sunday River, but I'm open-minded. Pretty good time getting up here. This is where I camped the last time. Yeah. I didn't notice exactly what time I started. I think this is probably about an hour. Hour and 10 minutes since I left the parking lot. That's like about 2.5 miles. So I need to slow down. I'm going too fast. That's certainly faster than book time. We've climbed a little bit, 2.5 miles. Maybe another half an hour, maybe longer. I've said before, I climb hard. It's really hard for me to slow myself down. I just want to go and get it over with. Can't do that on this trip. There's always another bigger climb behind the next one, so remind myself to go a little easier, especially because I'm wearing the heavy boots. I started breaking in that new pair of lightweights, but they are not ready for climbing mountains. They're good for around the block once or twice. That's about it. Takes a long time to break them in. The standards, they're broken in, but they weigh a ton. I feel it every time I pick them up. Great boots, but hard on trail. Yeah, it's definitely dried up a lot since the last trip too. Going up a little bit. And going up a little bit more. And just like that, we're where we camped last time. Yeah, about 2 hours faster than the last time. That snow was a lot of trouble. This trail, it's pretty dry. Notice you don't hear any water here. Last time we were here, yeah, somebody lost a piece of snowshoe. We'll clean that up, put that in our garbage bag. Yeah, last time we were here, this was all running water. So I don't even know if there is water here at Sergeant Brook right now. It may be dippable. Probably not running much. We'll see what we get when we get to Slide. I kind of like to camp at Slide. I haven't camped there for quite a few years. It's a very peaceful spot. But if there's no water, then we'll go on. Yeah, this was all snow. It's all gone. Top of a mountain. It's windy. Yeah, all that climbing to get up here, but it's pretty windy and cold. Can't stay long. I don't want to get too cold or my legs will stop working and I won't be able to move when I go down. Not as windy as they thought though. This is not 30-mile-an-hour wind. Yeah, it's a totally different day once you're in the trees. It's warm in here. That wind was a little bit cold. I think it might have been 30 miles an hour here coming down the face of that slope. It was blowing. We're just flying along. I'll be making camp really early today because I'm only going as far as Slide, assuming there's water there. So I only got another couple miles to go. It's straight down and then up, but it's just the other side of this hill over here we're going to. Wait, I'm facing the wrong way. We're not going over there tomorrow. We're behind this one. There's Speck. I'll go up there tomorrow morning. Come around the corner here, we'll see Slide Mountain. You can see the highway down there. No rain today. There's Slide Mountain. We'll go down and around. We don't go over the top, but well, on the Slide site, the question is there any water? Doesn't sound like much. Oh, this looks good. I will take it. I was afraid I was going to have to go on to Bull Branch. That's another mile and a half down the trail. Right. That's full and fine. For this site, that's not bad. Welcome to Slide campsite number 1. Slide Mountain? I don't know. I've camped in this spot before once, a long time ago. I knew it would be good for this tent. Maple Branch, or whatever that next site is, has a really nice platform. And this tent really takes up a lot of a platform, like the whole platform, if I set it up on a platform. So if somebody else was on the platform, then I'd have to try to find a spot on the ground, and there's really no place on the ground over there to set up a tent. There's a second platform that, as long as I've known, has been broken. And then there's just trees everywhere over there. It's really gets a lot of wind. So there's a lot of blowdowns and stuff. But yeah, toddled on in. I went down and got some water. I thought I was shooting a really nice video with a beautiful water hole, but apparently the camera wasn't running, so you got me instead. But it's a beautiful bag of water anyway. But yeah, those miles just went flying by today. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but this loop is always exciting. It's a lot of elevation change. Never know exactly how my body will respond to different parts of the trail. That's what makes it fun. It's a different trip every time, depending on which part breaks and how hard it is. It's beautiful right now. You can't see all the bugs. There's a million black flies. I think they're gonna start going to bed soon here. Mosquitoes will come out, but I don't know if they'll show up in the camera. There's the black flies. But the permethrin on my clothes seems to keep them back. Hands and face are exposed, so there's a threat there. I've got some holes in the back of my hand, but I had to resort to the head net for the last hour or so, maybe longer. I was inhaling a lot of flies. It's dangerous when I'm gasping for breath if I suck down a fly. But yeah, make some water, make some dinner. Try to stay awake for a few hours. It's early. I got here, I had everything set up for 5, so that's a pretty good day. Started at 9:30 or so. I think it's about 12 miles, 12 and a half miles to here. I don't remember. There's a couple of mountains in the way and a couple other things called mountains, but they're more like big hills. Nice thing about this side of the loop, the west side of the loop, they've got bear boxes here, so you don't have to deal with a hang or anything. Makes a great place to sit down and eat your dinner if there's nobody else here. Nobody's left any garbage in there. Not too much anyway. It's really rude to leave garbage in the bear box, but some people do it anyway. Oh, sun's still up. Not sure how much longer I will be. Once I eat dinner, I usually go to sleep. You get used to winter camping where the sun goes down at 4 o'clock. It's not embarrassing to be asleep by 7. But this time of year, the sun stays up 8:30. I'm not really sure what time sunset is, but well, I'm gonna dig into my dinner. And then I guess we'll find out if I stay up or not. But that was a pretty darn good day. Climbed a lot of mountains. For a man my age, that's always an accomplishment. So, if I can get to camp in one piece and sit down and relax, I'm a happy man. Sometimes I'm dragging my butt in. But trying to get better. Always try to get smarter, stronger. Well, I made it all the way till 8 o'clock. But that's it. It's down to about 54 out there. Breeze was blowing before, it was a little chilly. It's calming down now. Airplanes flying over, but other than that, it's pretty quiet. I'm holed up here in bed. I'll have to take off some of these clothes to go to sleep. I'll wake up sweaty. It's not should be that cold. But that's what I was wearing when I was outside. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy. I will wake up in the morning. Do it again. It'll be fun. Who knows? Maybe I'll climb the fire too. I probably won't climb the fire. Alright. Night. Day 2 begins. Well, began a few hours ago. It's almost 7:30. Sorry, I always have to check my camp 5 times before I leave to make sure. I never want to have to go back. I once stopped and unpacked my pack on trail to make sure that I hadn't forgotten my stove. I hadn't, but I was able to hike a lot happier not worrying about it the rest of the day. So yeah, good night, peaceful. Did not get that cold. It's only about 50 this morning when I woke up. So if it got cold, it warmed up again after that. I didn't check the temperature in the middle of the night. Seemed cold. Now we'll climb up back. See how the legs feel on day 2. Climb down to the highway. See if I can cross it. That was the most hard part about this hike. Not turning around halfway. Because you could just go home. You don't have to climb this. Most times when you're doing a loop, once you go, you gotta go. But here, you quit. I have. I don't know what this weather's gonna do. Looked like it was gonna rain earlier. Might just be low clouds, I don't know. Pulled a forecast from my satellite, but I don't trust a word of it. They say it's raining right now, and it's not gonna rain the rest of the week. And that's not the forecast that I was expecting. I was expecting rain later in the week, so. Yeah, try not to dislocate my knee. Don't want to do that on camera. You don't want to see me cry. You've seen it before. It's not pretty. All right, officially back to the trail. I'll show you a little trail. Boy, it's warm out here today for a 50-degree day. It's really humid. I'm climbing 1.1 miles. Uphill, downhill, uphill. About 40 minutes. Maybe less. I don't know how long it took me to get out of camp. I was lazy. That's a great site down there. Bull Run, I guess it's called. I can never remember what they call it. But there's a nice little brook in there. It always has water. Even when all these other sites are dry. So a lot of times I'll make that my first camp. Carry enough water to get there. The other side, unless it's really dry, you usually can find water. But this side, this is the only spot you can be sure. Trying to make myself go slow. This high humidity, my sweat doesn't evaporate, and so I'll be soaked if I get out of control. And I'm gonna be. I hate humidity. I like winter hiking. But I don't think I'm going to try this trail in the winter. I don't know how much that mountain shows up through the trees. That's where we're headed. It's half a speck. We'll wind around here and then around there and a few switchbacks, and before you know it, we'll be up there. You can kind of see these a little better, but yeah, it's really humid. I think it was raining a little bit there. Something. Wasn't just sweat. We'll climb this little mountain and then we'll roll downhill on the other side. It's so steep that it's a lot of work, but it's still better than climbing it. Well, we've climbed over the hill between us and the mountain. Now we can go down the hill. And then we can climb the mountain. It's all coming together. It looks a lot worse than it is. This is a neat little spot for quite a few reasons. You can see the visual and hear the birds. But it's the last spot to consistently get a little bit of breeze before you go over this arm of the mountain and make your way up to the top. But it's also the start of something really rare in New England. Switchbacks. I always giggle going up this mountain because there are switchbacks. Not a lot, not for far, but you just don't see them in New England. Sorry, Skeeter. But yeah, the trails here, they're efficient. They go straight up. It's pretty rare for them to make any effort to make it easy on you. They were tougher back then, I guess. But yeah, switchbacks. I did a lot of hiking out west. And those mule roads, pack horse paths, they use a lot of switchbacks. Like I say, it's inefficient. You waste a lot of time, cover a lot of ground you don't need to. But on the other hand, you don't have to go straight up. Well, this has gotten a little sweatier than I'd intended. Let's get the cold up on top now. It's hard to hold these legs back. They want to climb. Whew. Looks like it's going to rain over there. It wouldn't do that here, though. Once again, we're on top of Speck and there are no views. But I guess that means I don't have to climb the tower. I almost climbed the tower one time. But as I suspected, it's cold up here now. I'm hot and sweaty. Look, you can almost see the mountains over there. You can see the clouds right here. Yeah, half an hour. That's about as much as I can stand up here. I've earned a longer break, but it's a little wet, a little cold. Which is funny because I was hot and sweaty when I got here. But yeah, the tops of mountains, rather fickle. But I got some cheese and sausage. Cold, maybe I can go faster on this side of the mountain. Of course, I'm going down, so that helps too. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you about this weather. Nothing like what was forecast before or now. Again, mountains, they are fickle. But I'll try to stay dry so we won't freeze to death. We'll see what things look like on the way down. Should be a nice view here in a minute if the clouds don't fill in. At least we can look down. We can't look up. You can see the hole in the ground. Well, met my first day hikers, hardly even starting down. This side of the mountain's in the clouds. It's all wet and misty over here. Windier on this side too. So there's some snow. We're a week into June. There's still a little hiding here. I'm guessing this spot doesn't get much sun. I saw a few dabs yesterday, but not enough worth taking the camera out for. This was worth showing you. But yeah, I got a big pile of rocks to climb down and it's getting wet, so I'm gonna go. Well, it's the last water crossing on this side. The hardest part of the entire loop. Crossing the highway, not going home. I'm comforted by the fact that I might go home tomorrow. We'll see. Knees feel better already from just a few minutes of sitting. Maybe I'll recuperate. Be willing to take my chances on Puzzle Mountain in the rain. Your truck coming. You better get across here before you get there. This looks very different without snowbanks. Come here a lot in the winter. I'm used to putting on my snowshoes here and climbing over a snowbank. Truck full of trailers. Ooh, more of the wedding party coming out then. Somebody got married up on Table Rock today. Turn this on. Well, the tent setup is using my poles, so I'm literally using a stick for my selfie stick. Set up at the shelter. It's not the same without all the AT hikers here. Usually this place would be just crawling with people. But I found a pretty good spot. There's a lady in the shelter when I got here. I hope I didn't scare her away, but she left. And then a bunch of other people have showed up. So not quite up to AT crowds, but I think there's a couple in the shelter and a couple setting up over in the woods near me. It's different when you have company. Got another weather report and it's looking like it'd probably be better to go home tomorrow. So Thursday's looking pretty bad. And I don't want to be coming down Puzzle or riding the motorcycle in bad storm, so. I'm not going to cry about it that much. That climb down this back really beat the crap out of me today. That descending, it's a lot of work. But, you know, a little dinner, a little time in camp. The legs are like, no, we could do it. We could go. But yeah, my wife was sending me a weather report, so that's usually an indication that there's trouble coming. Still a pretty good trip. Except for coming down spec. I met some people, the people up at the shelter here, they're going to stop halfway. So it's a classic story. A lot of people make it halfway and say, oh, yeah, that's enough. They thought they went the wrong way. They thought maybe they should have gone the other direction. But I went the other direction, and I'm telling them, no, you went the right direction. I think I'm going to stick to going that way. Beck is hard to climb, but it's worse to come down, especially with a full pack. At that point, I'm only on day 2, so I've got a lot of food. We'll see what happens. I don't know if we'll come back and do it again this year or not. I always try at least once every year. Prefer to finish it once every year. I don't know. I think Whispers might want to come and spend some time at Lane if they ever let us cross state lines again. So maybe we'll at least get out there. Anyway, we'll see what the morning looks like. That might be it for tonight. So I have decided I'm not going to get wet tomorrow. I'm going home. Everything was really soaking wet from yesterday this morning. So I put on my dry clothes. I'm committed. I ate tonight's Pop-Tarts for breakfast. I'm totally committed. I'm going home. But boy, now that I'm back down here by the trailhead from the campsite, the legs are like, let's go up there. It's a beautiful day. Today would be a beautiful day to be on the mountain. But there would be so much suffering tomorrow. Going down Puzzle Mountain in the rain and then riding home in the rain. But I'm gonna go. Of course, my reward for going home is 4 miles back to the highway and then a 6-mile road walk, because ain't nobody giving rides in the age of the virus. So. Some guys at the shelter were asking if they could call the taxi. No, I don't think so. They were gonna bail too. They'd just done the east side of the loop. They'd been planning on trying to do the whole thing in 3 days. And after 2 days they were here, so. This trail is a beast. There's no shame in quitting. Well, I'm saying that because I'm quitting, but no, really, it's really hard. I used to call it the place where dreams go to die, because I couldn't finish it. Yesterday I decided on a new name for it. It's the place where everything hurts. Because boy, coming down Spec, it took everything out of my legs. The joints, the tendons, the muscles. That is why I think I'm going the other way from now on. It just seems like it might be easier. The way the terrain lies. I don't know. It's not easy the other way. I'm just saying. I think it's harder this way. Well, let me show you a little of this downhill here. Now you can see why I have that look on my face while I'm walking and talking. I'm not looking at the camera. I keep seeing this trail in snow. I come out here a lot in the wintertime. Been going to New Hampshire a lot lately in the summer. So all my memories of this area seem to be covered in snow. I can recognize the shape of the trail, but normally you're walking about 3 feet higher. The snowshoe down this hill is pretty fun, if the sled behaves. If the sled fights me, then it's terrible. I lost my tent out here last year. Dang sled flipped over a bunch of times. Somewhere in there the tent got out and I didn't notice. I thought everything was bundled up in the tarp. The tarp was still there, the tent was gone. Somebody found it and kept it. I almost got it back. Some people saw it who would have given it to me, but they didn't get it. Somebody else got it. Well, they didn't get any poles and they didn't get any stakes. And it wasn't that good of a tent, so. But I don't know what I'm gonna do when winter comes. I'm resisting the urge to descend quickly. I want to keep my clothes dry today. I was wet all day yesterday. I didn't enjoy it. Some sweat, some cloud, some rain at times. I think that's part of why I don't want to get wet tomorrow, is because I was wet yesterday. I know what it feels like. It's easy to tell yourself it'll be okay when it hasn't happened yet, but after it's happened, you realize, no, it's not okay. Nothing dried overnight at all. So we'll go slow and enjoy the walk. It's mostly downhill, and there's a breeze sometimes. But I do love to descend quickly. It's part of my old bicycling days. Crank out those climbs so you can ride down the hill. Mountains, well, they'll tear your legs off if you go too fast. Biking, you just gotta keep the bike on the road. But yeah, I like downhill sometimes. Not yesterday. Spec is not a hill. That's down mountain. This is a nice gentle hike. But that definitely loosens up the knees. I know this part in the winter is really tough with the sled. The sled does not want to make all these corners. Sled is nice. You can carry a lot of crap up a mountain with a sled. But they're really made for wide open flat spaces. But I have to always do the stupid thing. Boy, when I get up there and I've got everything in the kitchen sink. Some good winter camping. Well, I think the biggest climbs of the descent are behind us. Now it's mostly downhill. to go downhill. There'll be a few hills just to be annoying, but the big one is gone. That looks exciting. All right, we'll turn off the camera. You don't want to hear me cry if I fall in the mud. These water crossings are a lot easier at this time of year. In the snow, they're very exciting. Sometimes you can see where they are. Sometimes you don't know where they are. And sometimes you find out suddenly when you break through the shallow snow bridge into the water. Which with snowshoes can be exciting, because they'll get trapped in that hole. Now you're in the water, trapped. With a sled behind you. Oh, it's terrible. I love it. Life is easy on the couch. Out here, it's exciting. Hopefully not too exciting, but... And there is the road. Now we can begin the walk of shame. I have no shame. I do what as I please. This is what pleases me. I'm going home. Got nothing to prove. Don't care what anybody says. Beautiful day. It would have been a good day to be going over the mountain. Now it probably won't rain tomorrow, but at my age, I can't afford to snap a femur, so coming down Puzzle in the rain just did not sound like fun to me.